Islam, peace, peace. Greetings to you all. Sheikway L, a.k.a. Lord Albert, a.k.a. Mr. Just the Facts. I'm going to speak a little bit today on the Kanye West supporting Trump situation and the Bill Cosby situation. I usually don't give any public opinions on things like this, at least not on camera. I may make a tweet or I may put something on my Facebook wall because I like to be fair and partial regardless. With Kanye West, in my opinion, right? And this was evident when he first went and met Trump at Trump Tower. Kanye West was getting back at the people who he felt slighted him. The first being President Obama. Obama called him a jackass for the Taylor Swift incident. The second person being Jay-Z, who supported Hillary Clinton. Jay-Z and Beyonce put on performances in support for the political candidacy of Hillary Clinton. And at the time, Jay-Z and Kanye was beefing. So, naturally, when you have people that are not, in my opinion anyway, grounded in anything real, they are wavering and easily swayed. And the brother went over to the Republican Trump side. Now, my thoughts on that is Kanye West is from Chicago. And anybody, please fact check me because I love to be corrected. I'm different. I don't get up here and talk about a bunch of my own opinions and try to pass them off as truth. But from my recollection, I don't know what Kanye West has done in the city of Chicago. There are rappers who are in Chicago killing each other, trying to get on, trying to get record deals. And I believe that an established rapper like Kanye West could have averted a lot of this hateful, criminal behavior by just putting the rappers on. I mean, it's my opinion. He lives in, California somewhere, I believe. I'm not sure. A nice, beautiful mansion. And when issues about gun control and gun restrictions come up, the right wing in this political spectrum always speak about Chicago. Every time there's a mass murder, the right wing always dredges Chicago's name. But look at how many murders are going on in Chicago. Look at how many murders are going on in Chicago. I don't recall, and I can be off, but I don't recall any attempt by Kanye West, since he's been a major artist, to get involved at a grassroots level, nonprofit level, and political level to help curb that violence in Chicago, to help bring about peace accords in the city of Chicago. And yet, his support for Donald Trump seems unwarranted because it's, in my opinion, it's not coming from a place of policy. Donald Trump the people that Donald Trump has appointed, at least 85 to 90% of them have been Islamophobes, anti-Islamic. They have been anti our people, racists, bigots. I mean, I don't understand how we who have come up in this particular struggle can support somebody who's putting people in place, Jeff Sessions. I mean, that their policies are being written to have a negative impact on us, to keep a incarceration rate among our people, in my opinion, high. I don't see how any one of us who came through the struggle can support somebody like that. I just don't. So that's my critique of Kanye West. My critique of Kanye is not just reactionary. He's cooning. No, I'm analyzing this thing in depth based on the fact that Kanye comes from a place where we come from, the hood, point blank, period. The Bill Cosby situation. Look, there was an episode of Bill Cosby, and this came out when the first allegations first came out. And there's an episode of The Cosby Show where Phil and Claire Huxtable are standing in the backyard, and there's a couple couples back there. I guess that's the children and their spouses or future spouses, etc. And they're just kissing all over each other, and they're in love. And Phil Huxtable, Bill Cosby's character, is bragging about this special barbecue sauce that he uses, that he makes. And that whenever he makes barbecue using his special sauce, well, that's the result. He said people are rushing to get home. And then as the scene is about to fade out, young Rudy is eating some chicken and he's dipping it in the barbecue, and he says, Mr. Huxtable, your barbecue sauce and chicken sure is good. And Bill Cosby rushes over there, snatches the chicken and the barbecue sauce, wipes his mouth because Rudy is the daughter. He's sitting next to Rudy. I forget the young brother's name or the character's name. But when I seen that, life imitates art. Life imitates art. And Bill Cosby was integral at putting together a lot of the framework for those episodes, if not all. And for me, it was a subtle admission that this is what he does. And he admitted that he drugged women before. I mean, he admitted this. If you go and look at the documents, the court records, when he's being deposed and he's being interviewed on these things, well, he admits these things. We can't take and yeah, I hope Harvey Weinstein and everybody that has raped women, yeah, of course we hope they get brought to justice and not get a slap on the wrist or get exonerated because of the color of their skin. Justice is justice. And what would it make me if I said, so what, Bill Cosby raped women and drugged them? So what that he did that? We got to start looking after our own people the way the quote unquote white man looks after his people when they rape and drug people and let them more. That sounds absolutely crazy. And what you're saying is that you will become just like them. If you view them as evil and oppressive, etc., and you take the same evil and oppressive stances that they take, then that makes you just like them, in my opinion. And what lessons have you learned? How are you fit to rule if you were put in the place of the people you call oppressive, and that is your mind state? Then when it is your turn to rule, then you would have the same exact mind state. No, we can't do that moving forward. And somebody has to be real about this. Somebody has to speak truth. And I'm going to always be the one, AKA Mr. Just the Facts, that speaks the truth. If it's my opinion, it's my opinion. But if I'm saying that, if you're saying that Bill Cosby should have gotten off because quote unquote white people in power who do the same thing would have gotten off, well then, is it opinion that your mindset is just like those people's mindset? No, that's just a fact. That's a fact. And it makes absolutely no sense to me that any rational thinking person would have that type of conclusion. That makes no sense. So I just wanted to touch on the Kanye West, Bill Cosby thing for a moment. I think, people are just making crazy conspiracy theories with every passing event. They traded Bill Cosby for Meek Mill. Yo, what in the world is wrong with people, man? I'm apt to believe that the citizenry of the United States of America believe more in conspiracy theories than any other nation in the world. You have nations that have propaganda machines, and it's usually based on pumping up the government against another government. But in the United States of America, man, you could have somebody shoot from the 30th floor of a hotel at a crowd of concert goers, people literally dropping right in front of people, coroners examining the bodies and documenting the dead and their wounds, the fatal wounds. And people are going to come out and say it was a conspiracy theory. People are getting killed at schools. And people are running around saying these are false flag events. The American society is so gullible, so susceptible to misinformation. And this was something that was realized with the Banana Republic events of Guatemala in, I believe that was the 60s, just how gullible the American people are. And once you're able to play on American existentialism and individualism, you pretty much have control of this whole population. I just wanted to speak on those things as a departure away from the clowns that we have to address, like Sarah Sutton-Seti and Young Pharaoh and the rest of those types of clowns. I'm about important issues. Like I said on my last video, I'm about an end game. And the end game results in us being in power, not just pumping out YouTube videos and opining. And with that, I say peace.